Bo Bounds. I hope all is well. Welcome into the game here in T-Town.
Ryan Fowler, how are you, buddy?
Having a great day. Got started early this morning and doing a good radio hit over in Jackson, Mississippi. So I figured, we do a little trading from time to time. And
well, I got to ask you a question.
Okay.
Did you do your Scott Cochran workout this morning?
No, Lord, no.
Okay.
No. Okay. Yeah, I mean, let me tell you what my day exists of, and okay. So I'm here in Norman, Oklahoma. My wife, great thing about radio is you can do it pretty much from you, I guess, can't because you don't have the studio that you can go mobile, but because they don't have to look at my face every afternoon, they just hear my voice. I can do it from anywhere in the country. So I'm sitting here at the Embassy Suites, went down, got in a hot tub, got a text message, jumped on your radio show, had a little breakfast, and I've just been an absolute lazy bum today. Nothing. I mean, I've just been –
Dude, are you hanging out with Lincoln Riley and Jalen Hurts and Bob Stoops?
Well, I called Jalen, and we couldn't connect. He's up at the NFL Combine getting ready for the NFL Pro career, so we were not able to connect. But I will say this, that stadium – for Oklahoma, they almost fit in the SEC better than that team called Missouri. I almost wish that they would have got the invite because they're more of their passion level is pretty much equal to what it would be in the SEC.
Sure. No, I agree with you, man. I absolutely. There's no question about it. No doubt.
Mike Leach, you had some fun with that so far?
It was. It was as close to winning the Sports Talk radio lottery as you can get. Because here's where we were, Ron. Joe Moorhead and Matt Luke did not get anybody excited, okay? And you know this. You need your fans to be engaged and excited. They either need to be excited or super ticked off, maybe like Alabama fans have been since Monday. But if they're apathetic, if apathy sets in, then that's not a good thing. And apathy had set in. Mike Lee, he's already come in studio, okay? The guy is everything that you think he is.
Hold on a minute. Time out. You said Mike Leach has already came in studio?
Yeah, he's already come in studio and hung out with me.
Are you kidding?
No, dude. Let me just tell you. This guy, here's what's so neat, because so many of these coaches take themselves so seriously. Like
right, sure. It's almost fake. It's you know what I mean? It's kind of like they try to have that rock star mentality.
Right. This guy has no airs. Okay? Here's how I judge. We've had some really, really cool people come in our studio, Ron, since we built the new showcase studio, okay? I mean, coaches, entrepreneurs, culinary, restaurateurs, musicians, and so on. Here's how I decide if the person who comes in our studio to do a hit and hang out with us is genuine and authentic and transparent. It's how they treat my producers, okay? Because my producers, like your producers, grind their tail off.
Sure.
They do the stuff that is special for you and I to do the show. Okay? And some of it's graduate assistant type stuff, and then some of it is incredibly important. We couldn't do the show without him. Well, Mike Leach treated my producers like they were top 10 money alums at Mississippi State. How about that, Ron?
Wow. Whew. You think he'll drop to Tuscaloosa? I mean, you think I could get him on Saban territory? I mean, am I shooting in the dark here? What do you think?
No, I think you could. The guy
really?
Is so curious and fun and quirky and unique and not a meatball and can actually has some depth and is just he's fascinated with life. Now look, he's going to rapid fire you on questions, and I don't mean about the air raid or the spread offense or the 3-4 or all that garbage.
Sure.
He's going to, he wants to know about the community that he's in, the state. What he first asked? First thing he asked, he wants to know about the Mississippi Delta, where B.B. King, Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, Robert Johnson, all these amazing, amazing musicians that set the course for the Rolling Stones and the Beatles, because, Mississippi is the birthplace of America's music, and the Mississippi Delta is where it all came from. He was fascinated with that and things. So he is such a – that I don't enjoy a lot of the coaches that I have covered. I mean, some are about as much fun as, watching paint dry, okay? But some are fun and have some charisma and so on and so forth. But, Ryan, we had a blast when he joined us in studio. He's just He's hysterical.
Well, and listen, the guy in Oxford, Mississippi, he's a self-promoter too. I mean, and so if you create this little rivalry here, like you said, I mean, you've won the sports talk lottery there in Jackson, Mississippi. Because Lane Kiffin, I don't know if I've ever texted Lane and he said, no, I can't come on. Now he may say, listen, I can't go this afternoon, but I can go tomorrow at 3:30, or something like that. So anyway, I'll have to text you.
And look, we're excited about the Lane train. I mean, we've got the Lane train and the Pirate in the state of Mississippi, and I'm just as excited about the Lanes. I'm excited because our fans are back in and they're engaged, and they're both going to pick some people off, Ron. They're not going to do it at the level of Bama and LSU and Georgia because they don't recruit in the top 5. But over the next few years, these dudes are going to hurt some other fan bases' feelings. Not every year, but there will be a Saturday boom. There's going to be some Saturdays here and there where, they're going to walk off the field with a W over some of these top 5 and top 10 recruiters, Ron.
Bo, you also cover the SEC. Your college football show. I doubt we'll have time to work in Mississippi State, Alabama, even though that was a great game last night. We're college football fanatics, and people make fun of us, but I'm biased towards the rating system that we have in talk radio, and we hit basketball, and then we move right back to football. And people can criticize and throw darts, but like I said,
what it is.
I want to stay in this business, Bo. I mean, I don't want to lose my job. I mean, unemployment check's not a good thing. You know what I mean?
No, I'm with you.
So, Bo, let's go to Nick Saban and Scott Cochran for just a couple of minutes.
Okay.
What'd you think?
Okay, so it is the breakup of the greatest duo in the history of college football. Nick Saban and Scott Cochran. The greatest pairing duo tandem in the history of college football broke up on Monday. Now, first you got to start, what did they accomplish? Nick Saban, best football coach in the history of college football, right?
Greatest dynasty. Greatest dynasty in the history of college football.
Coach Bryant's 1A. All right. And so what they accomplished, what was it, Ryan? 5 titles in 8 or 9 years?
Yeah, 5 and 9. Yeah.
5 and 9. All right. So it's unbelievable how Saban trusted him, confidant, had the seniority to go and go into Saban's office whenever he wanted. And, of course, the players loved him. And that program is driven by excellence to the point that there is so much pressure on each and every player to perform on a daily basis, whether it's in February going through this 4-quarter deal or whether it's on a Saturday afternoon or Saturday night, because the whole program that Saban has set up is defined by obviously competing and excellence. And so that's the way I started my show Tuesday. It's the breakup of the greatest pairing in the history of college football.
What do you think it means? I mean,
the dynasty was already over. Okay, so the dynasty was already over.
Whoa, what now?
All right. So the Saban Alabama dynasty is obviously over. Now, does that mean that Alabama's not a top, 3 program? It's Bama, Clemson, and Ohio State, I guess maybe. But they're not going to run. They're not going to win 2 of 4. They're not going to win 2 of 5. They're not going to win 3 of 5. And that's if Saban even has. Let's just 5 more years. So now, could they win 1 more? Because Saban is Saban and because Alabama has so much talent? Absolutely. But the dynasty, even prior to Cochran leaving, was over. But with Scott leaving, Saban's been making poor hires at the coordinator position. Tosh Lapoy, Pete Golding, those
hold on now, Bo. You're not saying Pete Golding is an elite defensive coordinator? Are you saying he's not an elite defensive coordinator?
Are you talking about Pete Golding?
Yeah, I mean, you don't think he's in the same level of Kirby Smart and Jeremy Pruitt?
No. And as you know, Ron, because we've talked about it.
I'm just teasing. I'm just aggravated because
I know
I take a lot of heat for being so critical of Pete Golding, but
well, look, Pete may develop into
Nick Saban. He may be the next Nick Saban 20 years from now.
Sure,
but in 2020, he's not a quality defensive coordinator.
No, he's not a play. All right, here's what it comes down to. My friend and your friend Dave Bartu runs analytics and numbers on all these coordinators. He's got it. And no, Pete Golding may be unbelievable in 4 years, but today he's not an elite play caller. Saban has only won. This is what Alabama fans have to understand. Saban has only won national championships when he had elite play callers at the defensive coordinator position. And that's Kirby Smart and Jeremy Pruitt. So unless Nick Saban names Charlie Strong the defensive coordinator, whether that's in March, April, or May, or whenever, Ryan, it can be August 20th before the season. Unless Nick Saban names Charlie Strong the defensive coordinator, then Alabama's not going to win the national championship next year. They may be really good, and they may rip off a ton of wins. They may go 11 and whatever, 12-2, whatever. But they're not going to win the national title because Saban has to have an elite play caller at the defensive coordinator position to win it. Now, he's got an elite defensive coordinator on his staff now, but he's a defensive analyst. He's not the defensive coordinator, my man.
Well, and we'll see if he works toward that way. This is the way I describe it. Okay, I'm looking at Scott Cochran as a I like what you said. I mean, it's a big breakup. It's all about the adjustment that he makes post this. Will you be able to get somebody in equal? Maybe not. The relationship's not going to be there with the former players. But all of this adds up. It's Burton Byrne leaving for the NFL. It's Bobby Williams a couple of years ago going to Oregon. Like, there's only so many times that you can hit the bottom of a tree trunk and eventually it falls. Nick Saban has.
But here's the problem, Ron. Alabama gets to eat first. Alabama gets to drink first at the table. But that's not how Saban's operating. He's not hiring excellent people. I mean, that's a compliment to Alabama, Ron. In other words, when you're Alabama and you have a coordinator position open, what do? You go get the best. You don't go get someone that like Pete Golding that could be X, Y, and Z in 4 years. Bama doesn't have to do that. Mississippi State and Ole Miss sometimes have to do that. Oklahoma State, South Carolina, Michigan State. Good programs, but not elite. That's why Kirby made a terrible mistake last year, promoting from within. What are you doing? Act like you're one of the big boys. Act like you have the big beach house on the beach. I mean, Mike Loxley, Pete Golding, what are we doing? And so he's, again, sometimes coaches too close to it, whatever, whatnot. He's now got an elite defensive coordinator on staff, but he's not his defensive coordinator. And even Sark's not an elite play caller. He's good, but he's not elite. So the point is, when you're Nick Saban and you're wrapping this thing up, you would just think that he would identify, especially on defense, the next Kirby Smart or Jeremy Pruitt. And by the way, Ryan, that's a compliment to Nick Saban. I would just expect him to find that guy. Does that make sense, Ryan?
Sure. Well, and we'll see if he's able to. If he comes out and announces Wilson Love from Ole Miss, I mean, we'll know that what you said earlier. I'm not there yet, but I'm more – if Pat Forty would have wrote the article that he did in 2015 after Ole Miss beat Alabama and said the cracks in the foundation, and he wrote that article, I would have believed him now more than I did in 2015.
Well, I'm telling you, Ryan, now here's the one thing going for Alabama this year. Okay? The West is – Bama's still Bama. Even though they may not be special, they're going to be really, really, really good. Auburn's going to take a step back. LSU's going to take a big step back. And, of course, Jimbo's never going to, even though he's recruiting like a madman and more power, hey, got to tip your cap. Jimbo's never going to get it going to the point where he can navigate his way all the way through the West to Atlanta. So, again, it's set up for Bama because Auburn's not a monster, although they're going to be good. And LSU's not a monster, although they'll be good. And Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and Arkansas aren't in position to have one of those special teams that they have every now and then, once every 5 years or whatever is happening. So it still lines up for Bama. But, they're not getting past everybody with the current staff in place to win a natty. It's not going to happen. So, they're not getting past everybody. They may even get past the SEC championship game, rematch with Kirby or the first, showdown with he and Dan Mullen in Atlanta, maybe. But they're not going to get all the way through the college football playoff and win the whole thing.
It's a
Oh, and one more thing. The Wilson Love or whoever it is. Here's the deal on all that. Saban struggles to trust people, totally. And he trusted Scott. He's not going to have that. Even if he brings in Aaron Feld from Oregon, Ron. Aaron Feld went to Mississippi State, okay? But now he's the hot strength and conditioning coordinator out there with Mario Cristobal.
You know him?
Even if I bet him. I don't know him, know him. Like some of the people that have gone through the, Mississippi State athletics.
Well, you can look at me and tell that I don't know him. It's just quick look. You could go, yeah, he doesn't know Aaron. I don't look like I've, you hang around guys like that, you either get bigger or you weed your friends out.
But how long? All right, Saban's what is he, Brian? 69?
68. Yep, 68.
Okay.
He'll be 69 in October.
How long is it going to take him to cultivate a relationship to the level that with an Aaron Feld that he did with Scott Cochran, Brian? And how much time do you have?
3 years.
So you don't have that much time. So this year you're not even. You may make the college football playoff, but you don't have the stuff to win it. And so, so let's just go to 2021, and let's just hypothetical say that then Saban hires an elite defensive play caller as defense coordinator, Charlie Strong or whoever, and that works out. Then you're back in play. But time, it's like when you light the firecracker, Ron, and you gotta move fast. Time's running out. He's great and he's the best ever, but dude, you can't be mulliganing seasons like this one and last year.
Bo Bounds, ESPN 105.9 in Jackson, Mississippi. Bo, thank you for your time, and I'll see what I can do with Mike Leach.
You let me know. I'll do everything I can because he's always out. He'll be out and about recruiting. I'll do everything. Y'all aren't that, but you're only 90 miles away from Starkville. I'll do everything I can to help facilitate.
We could put him on some good barbecue, some good steaks. He wants to get immersed in the culture. We could.
Yeah. I'll come over and meet y'all.
Okay. Bo Bounds. Have an awesome afternoon, man. Thank you.
Okay, bud. See you, man.